Okay, so since this is a dedicated going second build, we're going to try and go second for these videos, but let's see what we get. So here, we have a couple options, but the most important thing is that we have Swanmo and an Ancient Warrior spell card. So first, let's just activate this. So this can add any card, any level 4 or lower card from your deck to your hand. So I think it's Beast Warriors, right? Yeah, Beast Warriors. So let's choose for this situation. I really like Swanmo. I would almost never add YUGIOH because he cannot special summon himself if it's not from the effect of an Ancient Warrior card. So usually I would never ever add him. I would add Swanmo or Liu Xuan. But for this, I want Swanmo. I think he's the best one. So here's going to be a pretty basic thing you can do. You have Swanmo, and then you have an Ancient Warrior spell or trap. And for this, you can actually activate it here if you wish. And Swanmo's effect will activate. So he can send any card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add another Ancient Warrior from the deck to the hand. And here, I have a dead card in my hand, a Driver. I don't really want him. So let's get rid of him. But you can get rid of anything you like. It depends on what you want to do. Tanky is a really good choice usually because it's not doing anything. It just is sitting there because it's already activated its effect. It's only giving you a 100 attack, which is pretty inconsequential. But let's just keep it on the field here, and let's just get rid of Driver, which is a dead card. And here, almost always, I'm going to add Lu Feng. But you have other choices here if you want. If you want to have a spell or trap negate, you're going to add YUGIOH because he can special summon himself from the hand. Guan Yun you cannot summon right now because he can only be special summoned if only your opponent controls a card and you don't. So your field has to be empty. And Zhang De can only special summon himself if you have two Ancient Warrior cards on the field, and I don't have that. So let's add Lu Feng. It's the most common choice. There we go. And then Lu Feng can special summon himself if you have the highest attack Ancient Warrior card, and I do, unless your opponent's also playing Ancient Warriors. There we go. Now I have a couple options, right? I could potentially activate this if I want to give it like the effect. So if this card is sent from the spell and trap zone of the graveyard, you can activate this effect. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your activation of your Ancient Warrior cards and effects. And here is really cool. When this card declares an attack, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. Maybe I'm worried about the back rows. Let's see if this works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But you can also get by this with Swanmo's effect, which can send something from the field to the graveyard, hand or field to the graveyard. So let's see if this works. It does work, which is nice. So the coin effect is going to activate here. See that? Select optional effect to activate. There we go. And now my two Ancient Warrior cards can destroy a card in the field. So let's go. Attack. And this will activate the influence. Let's destroy this. And then do some damage. There we go. And now let's analyze our end board. So we got, well, we can put this down if we like. So we got Swanmo. Right, Swanmo, he cannot be attacked if you have another Ancient Warrior card. Lu Feng, he's going to be probably the best option for disruption because if your opponent summons something with the highest attack, then you can destroy it immediately. But usually for me, I would wait until something like happens, like a choke point, because if you use it immediately on a card and your opponent instantly recovers, then you're probably going to be out of luck because Swanmo cannot activate his effect because he only activates if another Ancient Warrior card activates. So for me, usually I'm going to wait until I see a card here, like a monster, and then another monster, and then activate. So there's two monsters on the field for the opponent. But I mean, if it's like a choke point, then you can activate Lu Feng immediately if you like, and destroy it and try to like disrupt them. But normally, I would wait for two monsters at least. Try to find a choke point, try to find something important to the opponent, and then stop them from there. So that's the first hand, and we also got a Kaiju just in case, which is really cool. So that's the first hand. So this is actually a pretty decent hand. I'm kind of liking it. You have almost everything you need. You have the main play starters like Mo. You also have a follow-up with Lu Feng. And you even have some goodies like a Kaiju in case something happens over there. And you even have Tenki. So for this one, let's start with the Kaiju. Why not? Maybe there's a problem card and we don't want it. So really great going second build. The Kaiju will take care of almost anything, like almost anything. You can take care of really big boss monsters like Shirai, Ominous Omen, or you can take care of the Utopic Draco Future or Herald of Perfection. So Kaiju will definitely help you. So we have a couple choices here, but look at that. We can activate Guan Yun's effect. So remember, he can special summon himself only if you have an empty board, like no monsters, and your opponent has something. So that's another thing that the Kaiju can do. There's still a body on board. So even if I got rid of their boss monster, and I still have a Kaiju on their side, so that means I have a clear board, and my opponent has something, so I can special summon him. So let's special summon Guan Yun, and let's not mess him up. I've messed him up a couple times before. So here we have a couple things we can do. We could special summon Lu Feng, which I don't want to do. We could normal summon Mo, which I also don't want to do. So for this, I am going to activate Guan Yun's effect, and it says right here, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So let's do that. So let's destroy the Predaplants. Why not? Alright, no problem there. So, let's activate Tenki, because why not? We can add anything from our deck to our hand. Let's add another Mo, because I think he's the best normal summon. Liu Xuan's okay. So here, you can normal summon Mo. You could special summon Lu Feng. He special summons himself if you have the highest attack Ancient Warrior card on the field, which I do. So, let's activate Mo. Let's get rid of... let's get rid of the Gamma. We don't really need him in this example. Let's add... So we could either add Zhangde, which is probably what I'm going to do, or you could add Zhuge Kong for a spell trap negate if you have an Ancient Warrior spell or trap on your field to send from the field to the graveyard. And we don't. We only have Tenki. So remember, Zhuge Kong needs to send a Ancient Warrior continuous spell or trap, and we only have Tenki, and this messed me up a couple times, and it took me a while to remember. But here we cannot add him, so I don't think he's the best choice. I think the best choice is actually Zhangde, because we can push for more damage. I think this is going to be an OTK, probably. So, Zhangde can special summon himself if you control 2 or more Ancient Warrior monsters. Let's do that. So now we have 4 bodies on board. There we go. Wow, this is a pretty intimidating board. And as you can see, I activated another Ancient Warrior monster's effects. So now Mo can activate. And this is really cool if you have a Kaiju, if your opponent has a Kaiju that you used. So we can send it back to our hand. So Kaiju, come home, please. Thank you. Look at that. And we won. This is an OTK. So this is a really good OTK deck. Oh, that's a little annoying. It doesn't matter. And there we go. We won. So that's like an ideal situation. And usually it's not that easy. Usually your opponent has something to fight you with. But that's a very good example of an OTK. So this is a pretty interesting hand. I wonder what we get here. Okay, this is not horrible. It's definitely not ideal, but we can still make this work. So, Tenki. Let's add a level 4 lower Ancient Warrior, right, a Beast Warrior. Let's get Mo. He's your bread and butter. So remember, activate 3 sagas first, because for this hand, if I normal summoned Mo or Liu Xuan first, and then I activated this, Ancient Warrior Saga 3 visits isn't going to do anything, and I'm going to be probably screwed because I only have a vanilla basically on board with no effect. So let's activate this first. Nice. Let's add Mo, right? And then 3 visits will activate. And for this situation, I think I'm going to add probably Lu Feng. Remember, Mo and Lu Feng is really easy to achieve. So let's special summon Lu Feng if I control the highest attack Ancient Warrior monster. And as we can see here, let's activate Suanmo's effect to send the 3 visits we have on our board to add another card. So this, let's see, I would like to add, I'm going to add Zhang Yuan this time since we haven't featured him. Let's add him. And we can special summon him using 3 visits effect. So remember, when 3 visits leaves the field, you can special summon an Ancient Warrior card from your hand. And here, our choices are going to be Liu Xuan and then Zhang Yuan. But I'm not going to choose Zhang Yuan first. I'm going to actually choose Liu Xuan, and I'll show you why. Let's summon Liu Xuan in attack. Okay, now let's look at our board. We got Suanmo, Lu Feng, and Liu Xuan. And we have Tenki here, and 3 visits here, and Zhang Yuan. So let's see what happens. Let's not activate Lu Feng's pop. Let's see what happens when we battle. So, one cool thing about Liu Xuan is that if another Ancient Warrior card declares an attack, you can draw a card. So let's attack with this guy. So Liu Xuan will activate. We draw a card. And then, let's not activate Suanmo right now, because I want to activate Zhang Yuan. See? So basically, Zhang Yuan, when you're attacking, right, when your Ancient Warrior monster battles, like battles in any situation, you can special summon this guy, and then the opponent's attacking monster loses 1000 attack. So this guy is going to only have 100 attack. And let's special summon him. He's going to be destroyed. And Zhang Yuan is pretty cool because if my opponent had another card like on the field, I can destroy it. So if a card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So this goes really well with Lu Feng, right? Because if Lu Feng destroys an opponent's monster, then and he has something else on board, you can also activate Zhang Yuan to destroy another card. So this is a really good board that's with a lot of disruptions. And let's attack. And I think we've won. Yep, definitely, with life points to spare. There we go. So, as we can see, that was a very easy combo using Suanmo and 3 visits. So this is a kind of subpar hand, but we can still make it work. Let's see what we can do. So first, we're going to activate 3 visits, right? Remember to always activate this first before you special summon something or normal summon. And then we can special summon Guan Yun. Remember, only if the opponent has something on board and you don't. And then 3 visits will activate. Let's add, well, we have a couple different choices. I think I'm going to add Suanmo. So this is really cool hand, actually. I'm kind of liking it. So Suanmo activates. The 3 visits will leave. We can add something from the deck to the hand. I'm going to add Lu Feng. 3 visits will activate. Let's special summon Zhang Yuan. We could also special summon Guan Yun if you wanted, but let's have some variety. Let's have this guy on board, and then we can special summon Lu Feng, and look at that. 4 monsters in a blink of an eye. And if we wanted to, we could activate Lu Feng's pop and destroy that. So, well, let's do that. Why not? Let's battle. And I'm going to actually not finish off the opponent because I want to show you summoning Double Dragon Lord. So let's get him down to this. And then for the main phase 2, we can special summon the Double Dragon Lord. So for him, he needs 2 Beast Warrior monsters, including a Wind Ancient Warrior monster. So remember, the Wind Ancient Warrior monsters are going to be Liu Xuan, Zhuge Kong, and Guan Yun and Zhang Te. And we have one of them on board. So let's special summon him. So for this, I'm going to get rid of Guan Yun. I don't think he's very useful. He can prevent your opponent from targeting your Ancient Warrior cards, but let's not do that. And we have another choice. Let's probably choose Zhang Yuan, because I think Suanmo and Lu Feng together are like a really powerful board. So let's summon the Double Dragon Lord. So the Double Dragon Lord will increase your Ancient Warrior cards by 500 points. Really cool. And when he's link summoned, you can activate this to add something from your deck to your hand. So remember, we could activate or we could special summon YUGIOH if we wanted, but he wouldn't be a very good choice because we don't have an Ancient Warrior spell on board, so we can't negate anything. So he's probably not the best choice. We could add one of these, one of the Ancient Warrior spell cards if we wanted to. For this situation, I mean, maybe we could add Swan Mo or Liu Xuan. I'm going to add probably 3 visits. Or we could have Zhongde if we wanted. Because Zhongde can special summon himself if he wanted to, make our board a little bit stronger. He's going to be a big body. And there you go. So we would have won already, but this is just an example with the double Dragon Lord. So on your opponent's turn, we're going to have a quick effect return to the hand. So if your opponent special summons like a really powerful Link or like a Xyz or something, then you could sacrifice or you could send something from your hand or your field to get rid of it and put it back into the deck. And this will get by a lot of destruction effects because there's a lot of cards that are indestructible now. So we can take this and then we can send someone to the extra deck or back to the hand. On the opponent's turn, we also have a quick effect pop. And we also have a return to the hand potentially if one of these effects will activate. So that's a pretty decent hand. I like it.